Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium. Today we're going to get a quick catch up on the politics because holy wow, Batman, things are going down. I think there's so much to talk about. I don't even know where to go first, but I think what I'll talk about is Eileen Cannon. And because really where Trump is now, I know I'm just jumping in, but I'm jumping in. Where Trump is now is he's out of options. As the spirit guide said, EEG Caroll was going to decimate him. She has decimated him. We now know he's gone to 30 institutions, banks, whatever you want to call them, and said, please, pretty please, can I have a loan? And he also put up all of his cash, all of his Schwab, his little investment, his cash, like you and I bank account. He put up his whole bank account. And then he put up Don Jr.'s bank account too. And they still wouldn't give him a loan based on that money. He doesn't have it. He cannot meet the financial demands that he needs to meet to keep his properties from being sold. Now, I'm going to get to Eileen Cannon because this is important because his only option is judges. And that's why we're going to talk about Eileen Cannon. But here he is. This guy does not own what people think he owns. He owns his name. He brands the name Trump, and he has licensing deals where he puts that on buildings. He doesn't really own as much property, real property, the guides are saying, as we think he does. The tower he owns, like the retail floor, his apartment, and some other floor. He doesn't own the building. He owns parts of the building. We all know that Mar-a-Lago has got these pretty significant restrictions on what you can do with that property. You can't just make it into a single residence. It's actually a club, a social club. And actually, I think he's breaking the rules by living there. I think you can only stay there for 26 days or something. So he's already breaking those rules as well. But when you go to sell that, that is a social club. That's not going to be worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. I mean, maybe he gets 12 million, maybe he gets 15 million, maybe not, because I think it's going to be a fire sale. And when people smell desperation, they tend to lowball you. So plus the guides are saying it's not kept up. It hasn't been renovated. It's not up to date. It's very dated. It's not something people want to buy. So he's got big financial problems, you guys. And I mean to the order of he's toast, he's finished. So he's already been taken down by EEG Caroll and his own big fat mouth, because he could have done this the easy way. He could have paid the first judgment and, and really and truly been taking that one to appeal, right? And have to put maybe down $2 million or something. No, he had to run his big mouth, and he's still running his big mouth. So here we are. Trump is on the ropes, just like the spirit guide said. It is March, just like the spirit guide said. I really feel like, and I wanted to check this because they told me Monday, just now when I was getting ready to do this, they said Monday was going to be a big day, a big news day, or we would hear a lot. And I just looked at the calendar, and Monday is the lunar eclipse. And if you watched my video with Karen with Little Blue Lotus Astrology, she said the lunar eclipse is like a big spotlight that's going to be shining. It's going to be illuminating, but it's illuminating things in the form of a spotlight, not in the form of a candle, not in the form of matches or a torch, a spotlight, you guys. So listen, trust me when I say this lunar eclipse energy has been activated for a little while now. It's activated before the lunar eclipse, and it stays activated after the lunar eclipse. It's going to reveal hidden things. It's going to be shock and awe. So strap up, buckle up, put your helmet on, get your blanket, put your thumb in your mouth, whatever you got to do. I don't care. We okay. We got you, boo. If you got to sit in the corner and cuddle with your blanket, that's fine. It's okay. Because the news is going to be flying hot and fast. And it's like, as soon as you wrap your head around one thing, boom, there's going to be another thing. And I believe, to me, that's already happened. But this is just the beginning, the spirit guides are saying. So somebody emailed me, and I'm just going to ask you a favor. Please don't email me about political things. But someone emailed me and said that I changed my mind about Trump not disappearing before the election. Nope, never have. I never have. If he's here during the election, he's in a rubber room. I've always given you my options are he's gone to the great McDonald's in the sky, or he's in a rubber room in Guantanamo. Only two things I see. Now, because this energy is squirrely and nutty, maybe he gets away with some kind of crazy, weird other detention that's not, prison, but I don't think so. But he's not running for office. I don't see that. Never have seen that. Never changed my mind on that. So let's talk about why his only option left is the courts, because he has no money, you guys. No one is coming to rescue this man. No one, not Putin, not anybody. And you guys all talk about Jared Kushner with his $2 billion that he got from the Saudis. The deal with that is he got $2 billion to manage in a brokerage account. He can't touch that money. It's not his. They didn't give him $2 billion. They allowed him to put his name, even though this is not something I don't think he has experience with, to put his name on a brokerage account to manage investing the $2 billion. Now, I think he's making $100 million a year. So yeah, he's got the hookup. I mean, he's making bank, but he doesn't have $2 billion. So that isn't going to help either. And by the way, when I just said he put all his own money up, and I got to wonder what Melania thinks about that. But then he put up his son's money. He didn't put up no Ivanka money. He didn't put up no Jared money. He wasn't that crazy, right? Yeah, he's not that crazy. He's not going to be doing that. Daughter is going to be like, no, I will be on the phone with Jack Smith myself if you touch my money. Literally, I will turn you in. So step back. So, wow, I couldn't be happier. DJT is on the ropes, just like the guide said. I was kind of upset with them last year because I wanted them to just do a knockout, just knock him out, put him out of his misery, right? Why can't we just pick the best case, pick the best evidence, put our best foot forward, put him through there, and let's do it. But the powers that be, all the above, the spirit guides, and also all of the DOJ and all the other state district attorneys decided to do something differently. And also, they're telling me about the Jan 6 committee. This was all spread out over 3 years for a reason. I was upset about it, but I've talked to you guys a lot, but I've got new viewers, and I'll recap it briefly to say this was done on purpose because there were active groups of people that could take up, their little toy things and get in the streets. I feel like something is crawling on me. So if I jump out of this chair, you'll know what happened. Either that or it's spirit. And if it's spirit, y'all know what I'm fixing to say. Stop it. Okay. This was a calculated decision, the spirit guides are saying, because what they did was Jan 6, basically the committee did all the work. They gave it over to the DOJ. The FBI started investigating these people with all the work that Jan 6 committee did, becoming very handy, and they started arresting them. So now what's happened is a lot of these people that would be the leaders of these people that had the tactical skills and had the, money connections and the tools, I'm trying not to say certain words here, to cause us a lot of trouble, are in prison. So that was the first order of the day, apparently, was to cut the head off of these groups, make them inactive and ineffective. So that was the first thing. So that's what they did. I think that's probably a smart thing. I think that because I saw a different vision, I talked about it early on. a vision of more of a tussle, more of the guides kept calling it sort of like that kind of citizen type of attacks on people. So I think that by doing this, we skipped over that. We're like, we're not going to do that. So they played the long game. Okay. And now here we are at the end, really and truly at the end of the long game for all intents and purposes, according to the spirit guides. And what's happening is they've taken, by having these, we talked about the 100 arrows, and we talked about only 5 are going to hit him. And we're down to our 5, aren't we? I mean, we got the Tish James, the Fonnie Willis, the Jack Smith, the Alvin Bragg, and the EEG Caroll. And that, if that's not 5, that's close to 5. That's exactly what the guides said was going to happen. Now, and then when I was talking about the knockout, the KO, what they told me, no, it's going to be a lot of body blows. He's going to get a hit. 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 The hits are just going to keep coming. And here they are. They are coming and coming and coming. Now, the ones that really hurt the most and the one that really has taken him out is the EEG Caroll case, which frankly, he did to himself. He could have kept his mouth shut. He could have paid a very much less significant fine and walked away and used the rest of his money to fight these other things. But now he can't because he kept running his mouth. And now he's out of money. He doesn't have the money for the appeals. And yes, I do think they're going to take whatever he has. This is not news. The spirit guides told you this a year ago. We haven't changed our mind. We haven't changed our opinion. He's going to lose everything. I've always seen it. The problem is, I didn't realize he didn't own anything, but whatever he has, he's going to lose. It's all going. The only thing I think he's going to get is he might get a delay. He's gone back to the judge and said, I tried to get some money and I can't. Nobody will loan me any money. So can you help me out here? Can you be nice? Can you let me not pay any money until I have the appeal because this is wrong? I mean, every American should be so angry at this because there are many Americans in prison right now because they had to follow the laws that Donald Trump says he doesn't have to follow. It's really making a mockery of us, of our democracy, of everything. And if I were being tried in a court today, I would be bringing that up. I would have my attorney fight pretty. I'd be like, I'm going to the Supreme Court. I want you to prove to me I'm different than Donald Trump. Why I can't get the same treatment. I really would. I'd be like, we're going up. We're going up. So, however, this thing with EEG Caroll, he's going to lose everything. I think he'll get a delay. I do not think that he will get, he's going to get some concessions, the guides are saying, so maybe he gets, even if he got 50 million knocked off of his total bill, it's not going to save him. There's nothing that can save him. He can't even come up with like 20%. I mean, so the judge could very easily knock off 5 million or even 20 million and act like he's doing something nice. And it still wouldn't help Donald Trump. Okay, so don't worry about that. If you see that, also the judge may give him an extra week. What I'm hearing is the judge may give him an extra week. But they just told me it depends on Donald Trump's attitude and his mouth between now and a week from now. If he continues to badmouth this judge and badmouth everybody, I really feel like this judge is going to be less inclined to give him anything. And the judge is just going to look at Tish James and be like, be my guest. And if you guys haven't seen pictures of Tish James with her Cheshire cat grin, I think that's going to be all of our wallpapers on our phones for at least the next 3 months because it's powerful. It's super powerful. So that's the problem. So here is where we are. Now, why this is important to you is because, well, the state of our democracy depends on it. But that's kind of there. That's true. I'm just going to say what they said. That's what they said. In the sense that I don't see Donald Trump winning, but I do see Donald Trump making a mockery of our courts. Now we're going to go to Judge Cannon. She's been doing some things that looks like she's using AI. You know, like these kids are using AI to write their book reports. She's using AI to write her opinions. I mean, it's like literally doesn't make any sense. No one can make any sense of it. So that was one thing. Now, I've told you guys, Jack Smith is allowing her to build her own case against her. Every time she does an opinion that's either wackadoodle or illegal or outside of the bounds of settled law or whatever the case may be, because I think she's ticked all the boxes by now, he's just like piling it up. And when he feels like he has enough of a case against her, he's going to go to the 5th Circuit and or the 11th Circuit. He's going to go to some circuit judge and he's going to ask her to be removed. This is not an easy thing. Apparently, they don't remove judges. Typically, they only remove judges in the case of a death penalty case where the person on death row says, I've got new evidence that exonerates me. It's 100% true evidence backed up every way to 6 ways to Sunday. And you go back to the judge. And if the judge says, no, I'm not going to hear this, I'm not even going to give you an option, then sometimes attorneys go after that judge to have them removed, to say, this is not a fair hearing. We can prove that our client has new evidence and this client deserves his day or her day in court, blah, blah, blah. So this is typically when it's used to remove a judge from a case in a matter of death. So here we are, right? In the matter of DJT, as usual, he's got to be the one to do these things. So the latest thing that she did, that Cannon did, was, if you've ever done jury duty, they give you a list of rules and you have to follow the rules. As a matter of fact, when you're sworn in as a juror, that's part of your thing. I'm going to follow the rules. So when you're in the jury room, you have the rules, and everything you talk about or vote on is literally guided by the rules. Now, what I understand from legal scholars is that there are like form rules, like there's typical rules for every type of case. But what can happen is those can be, just changed a little bit to sort of reflect the nuances of that case. But the basis of the rules is set, ready to go. The only thing is, the prosecutor or defense, whoever, may decide that they want to change a little something. That's allowed, okay? So here's what happens. Cannon sends 2 sets of rules to the attorneys, both attorneys for both sides. And it basically sounds like she's saying that the jury has to consider that it's okay for Trump to remove the files, to remove these top secret documents. 2 different sets of rules say it in 2 different ways, but basically she's saying to these people, this is the rules the jury's going to follow, and you have to keep in mind that as a president, he has the ability to do this, which is not true. It's not true. It's against everything, including the law. So now everybody's like, now what are they going to do, right? I mean, this is really a big deal. This is a big deal. I've also always seen her being pulled from the case, either stepping down or removed from the case. I've always seen it. Didn't know how it was going to happen. Again, it's not something that happens very often, like how about never. So again, one of those crazy things I saw that I'm like, I don't know how it's going to happen. Here we are. Here we are. I think she's going to do 1 or 2 more things and she's out of there. I know that Jack Smith has to play this very close to the edge, because if he goes to remove her and he gets voted down, then he has to go back to the court and try that case with her. And that's going to be not a good thing, right? I mean, he has 1 shot. He has to take aim. He has to be sure that he has it. There is no alley-oop here. There is no Hail Mary here. It's precision. It's 100% I know I got this. This is 100% going to work. So he's trying to, parse and really play and see when is the right time to pull this trigger. You would think it's now with these crazy jury rules, which I'm sure are going to get changed because it's illegal, but I'm not sure that it's going to get changed. I mean, I do think the jury rules are going to get changed. There's another thing that she can do, and I don't know the name of it, but there's this thing she can do that people think she's trying to do, where she can rule in such a way that this ruling cannot be repealed. There is a certain catch-22 thing that she can do that if it sounds to me like Jack Smith may not have 100% control of her doing it. And look, she's going to do it. She's going to do everything she can, because this is what we were saying earlier. All Donald Trump has left is the courts. His last hope is the courts. He's got nothing else. He's got to get these judges. He's got to get these judges to rule for him. He's got to get the judges to rule for him. He's got to. So I think, and this is why I want to tell you guys, we could win the war and lose a couple of really big battles that we shouldn't have lost. That really is a serious stake in democracy, truly. So this Judge Cannon thing could be a moot point. It really could. It could be that he gets off. It could be that he gets off with Fani Willis. It could be. It could be. It could be that the end result is that EEG Caroll and her great attorney, and the fact that New York State opened up this law that was way past the statute of limitations by a decade, and said, we're going to give you 1 year to go back and try cases. Do you see spirit in this? Because I do. Because I really feel like EEG Caroll, he's got no money. He's got no golf courses. He's got no names on no towers. You know what? Did you guys know that big old plane that he uses is old? It's a broke down old plane. It's worth like $15 million. And for an executive jet, that's like a Yugo. That's like I don't even know what. I don't even know if we have a car that cheap right now to compare it to. That thing isn't even worth anything. He has no assets. The man has no assets. So what happens to him when he loses all his money? Even if he does get off on these cases and the other cases are delayed until 25, he's not going to live. He can't withstand it. This is the wound, the mortal wound, the guides are saying, for a narcissist. He's lost his money, his respect, his power. That's all he cares about. His money, respect, power. He's got nothing. He is really on the ropes here. And if no one's coming to help him now, even if somebody appears magically in the next 7 days, it's not enough. He's got more judgments coming. It's not enough. He's done. He's toast. So I do want to say this, that he's going to be, and right, they're reminding me, I need to go back and talk about this lunar eclipse, because there's another thing coming for Trump. It's like when a strong man is weak, when the bully is weak, all the junior bullies make a move. All the bullies you've been bullying that want to be the king of the hill, they're going to make their move. Guess what? This is it. He's weak. He's vulnerable. They're going to go for him. And you know who has got their eyes on, you might not believe this, but who's got their eyes on old Donnie is DeSantis. DeSantis still has a mortal wound from Donnie, and he's still going after Donnie. And DeSantis has the ability as governor of Florida to release all these Epstein files. And I'm pretty sure that these Epstein files are going to deep six Trump, deep six him. In the court of public opinion, which is all he cares about, it's all he cares about, he's going to get deep sixed. Also, more charges are coming for Trump. This Smirnov guy, he has going to be giving information. Trump has even more charges coming. There's going to be more charges filed. So why that's important with this lunar eclipse on Monday is because, well, that's the lunar eclipse. That's when that big old spotlight, think about a searchlight, you know what I mean? That's when that thing is going to be hunting Trump down. And I just feel like there's going to be so many exposures coming out, so many just shocking details that are not deniable in black and white. You know, like we saw or maybe you didn't, but if you want to see it, it's there. The printout of all of the medications that were being handed out in the White House while Trump was president. And some of them are absolutely insane, like anesthesia level medications. Well, imagine something like that, but also with DJT signature, or imagine something like that kind of damning that points to him allegedly. We do have to worry about the courts because we can't allow, and the same thing with Fani Willis, with that judge, we really can't allow these judges to align themselves with one side or the other, whether it's Democrat or Republican, it doesn't matter. We cannot allow that. So we're going to have to really stand tall and firm on that. We're going to have to really go after these judges either now while they're litigating this case or later. But we have to do this. We can't let this slide because this is big. This is bad for us. And it also uncovers so many vulnerabilities. Now, the other thing that I just wanted to mention was this spotlight is not just hunting for Trump. It's karma. It's balancing. You know, we always talk to you guys about balancing, right? Karma is coming. It's looking to balance things. So this spotlight is going to be shining on everybody, especially if you're elected officials. So think about Republicans being exposed, maybe Democrats being exposed. People will be exposed, and exposed in a way you cannot deny it happened. I mean, there's no denying it. It's the guides are saying caught red-handed, that old saying, caught red-handed. There's just no denying it. It's just, it is what it is. So this is the beginning of the end right now. We have this lunar eclipse and then we have the solar eclipse. So we're not done with this. We're not done with these huge, energetic, powerhouse, astrological, energetic events. We're not done with that. Now, the last thing I will say is I feel like this culminates in June. For some reason, the spirit guides are talking about June. You know, and they're reminding me, they gave me the exact date of Trump's first indictment, the exact month and date. It just flew out of my mouth. So I feel pretty positive about June. There's something big going down in June. And I think it does have to do with Trump. Again, he has a menu of choices. He can go to the great McDonald's in the sky. He can go into the rubber room. That's pretty much it. that's pretty much it, you know. But he can go into the rubber room a couple of different ways. You know, he can fake his own. Well, I say fake because he does not believe it, but you and I believe it. Fake that he's insane, so he can't stand trial. He's not criminally. He's not competent, mentally competent to stand trial. We've talked about that before. You guys can think it's crazy, but I'm telling you, spirit guides have pretty good track record. So, and crazy is on the menu. This is what it is. So he would do anything to get out of prison. And what the guides told you last time, they're reminding me, you guys have to understand, if he thinks that he can go into his own house arrest situation, if he can just live there for a few years, he thinks that he can get booted out of there or rescued out of there in a year, 6 months. You know, he mentioned Nelson Mandela. Remember when he kept mentioning Nelson Mandela and how Nelson Mandela was released from prison and then became the leader? There's a reason he was mentioning that, because that's what he thinks is going to happen to him. The worst thing he thinks is going to happen to him, he's going to go to presidential club fed, you know, the best club federal prison there could ever be. All the Diet Coke hamburgers and things you want. And then he can just wait it out until his people bust him out and he's free again. He literally, I just saw, was it Chapo? Who was the drug cartel guy who went into prison? Finally they caught him. It took forever. He went into prison and then they busted him out and then he's running loose again. He thinks this way. He does not think he's going down. It's all about the delay, and club fed presidential style is just another delay. It's just like what the Federal Society say. They say, we just want to live to rule another day. We want to stay relevant. We want to keep our power. Therefore, we're going to retreat, hide in our hidey hole until the threat is gone. And when there's an opportunity, we'll come out again. They're like zombies from hell or something, right? Like they do that, right? I mean, they do that. We see it. We see it with Obama. You know, we thought we were getting somewhere with race relations in this country. Well, we elect a black president. All hell breaks loose. All those people came out of their little crevices and crawled down into the sunlight, you know, like this, you know? So, and then they made our lives crazy and terrible. So this is the thing. This is the same energy. These people with this high power, they have this power that's what they feel like is untouchable. They feel like they're untouchable. So they feel like, okay, we'll just retreat from the public eye. You know, we'll go away. We'll let everything calm down. And then when there's an opportunity, we'll come back out. This is what Trump thinks he's going to do. I'm here to tell you it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. This man is going to see the Hamburglar. He is going to see Ronald McDonald in the sky. That's what I think is happening. If he does end up in a presidential club fed prison, then he's still locked up. That's okay too. He's never going to get out. For the other thing that we haven't even talked about is his alleged decline of his mental capacity. He's not even going to be able to spell his name in 3 months. So allegedly. So, you know, look, all things point towards him not being a problem for us. Our problem is dealing with the aftermath of Trump, dealing with our courts, dealing with wherever our Secret Service, our ATF, our FBI, CIA, our judges, whomever, our Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter, elected officials who might be compromised. That's our job. That's our next job. Trump is not going to be a problem. He is not going to be a problem. Do not worry about Trump. We've got other things to worry about, and they're worth worrying about. We're going to deal with that too. But, and when you have people like Judge Cannon doing this stuff, she could be impeached. I mean, she's got a lifetime appointment, I think, but she can be removed easier than the Supreme Court judges can be. She can be impeached. She can also be removed they have an actual ethics, set of judges that can hear a case against her. She's in hot water. This woman is in hot water. I've always seen her leaving and going to a think tank or some kind of, the guides are calling it a soft landing, you know what I mean? Like a golden parachute or something like that. So some of these judges will get pushed out. And the ones we have to worry about, just like the Republicans, is the ones that say, oops, my bad. And they come back into line. I'll be a good little boy, a good little girl. They're just playing at being in line. They're not in line with the law or with our society's desires. They're just playing along. Those are the ones you really have to watch for. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this update. Let me know what you thought down in the comments. I will be back on this week somehow, some way. If you're new here, thanks for joining me. Please consider subscribing and take really, really good care of yourselves and really buckle up for Monday. Because listen, this this type of energy is not just pointing at elected officials, it's everybody. So you might find in your workplace there's some exposure, or you might learn about something in your local city government. It's going to be quite fun to see how the lights come on and all the little roaches start scurrying around. So get ready for that. I'll see you again real soon. Take good care. For entertainment purposes only.